about these things, and it's like, yeah, I love that Devon, but then this competitive Devon is like, it's like an alter ego that comes out, you know?
It is.
Yeah.
It is an alter ego.
Yeah.
100%.
And you've bought into that. That's what it is.
I've cultivated it.
Yeah.
I've allowed it to grow. I've empowered it. I've let it free. You know, there comes a time when I will transform a little bit, and I find that piece is essential. I don't think that in a really high stakes match that a lot of the qualities that bring you closer to your community and your family are what lead you to victory in that short time frame.
Sure.
You know, and I like, we talk about winning. I want to win, and the mindset required to winning is not always exactly the same.
Yeah.
You know, in the moment, you know, you have to be a bit more violent, and you have to like that. And I don't just want to win. Like, I want to win big. Like, really, like, I want to win in the most dominant fashion possible. I want, and the thing is it's not just that I want that. I would want that in return.
Sure.
Like, if you're gonna beat me
in that fashion,
I don't want your mercy.
That's great, man. That's great. Yeah,
I don't want it.
All right. I was thinking about making a video that was kind of showing me changing sides a little bit, slightly away from the unconditional pro Devon camp and toward the I question Devon's behavior camp. And I was thinking of saying things like, I wonder if Devon is in that tavern brawling stage of the hero's journey where, after being disgraced by a powerful rival, he's just punching down against any old schmo he can find to make himself feel better. It's like therapy. It's like in that tennis movie with Zendaya, you know, where the two guys both like her, and the one guy, he's a big tennis star, and he loses a match, and he is told that he needs to play easy matches for a while just to get his confidence back, you know? I was wondering if that was what was going on with Devon. I was wondering if maybe that was why he was so angry all the time. I mean, because he still hadn't processed the loss to Levon or something, maybe. And maybe the Chance match, the Leonidas match, and even maybe to some extent the Oleg match. They're all kind of just little ego boosters, you know? Devon is walking around in the valley, just fighting weaklings, you know? But, man, this podcast changed things a little bit. Who am I to say if there's anger? Who am I to say if there's unfinished business here? But a new and very interesting idea has come up. It's this idea that Devon wants no less than a perfect victory or a perfect defeat. He's touched on this before, but he said it in a way here that really kind of cemented it for me. And it makes me wonder if that was something that his two losses to Levon sort of inspired or grew in him. It was already there, but being dominated so completely by Levon, it must set a standard, right? it must cause Devon to want that feeling again, right? Because he really does like it. He said as much in the past. He wants to be beaten completely. And so if you can't beat him like Levon beat him, why bother? And if he can't beat you the way Levon beat him, why bother? It's like he wants to be on the giving end of that punishment. It's like he wanted to be Levon's teacher. We know he did. And when he couldn't, that desire just kind of pent up in him. And now he's releasing it on everyone else twofold. Whatever, it's I don't know the guy's mind. It's just a thought. Yeah, it's very interesting. I almost wonder if there's an element of addiction here, like in the famous words of Eminem, "Shit, 6 hits won't get me high no more, so bye for now. I'ma try and find some more." Like your tolerance just goes up and up and up until only the most intense of experiences can even faze you, you know? Yeah. And just on the whole warriorship thing, you must enjoy the violence thing. It's so primal. It's so much deeper than anything that I am even qualified to talk about. I think it does take a very special person to go to those lengths. And I do agree with Devon that it does seem to be increasing his performance capacity. It's like there were untapped depths of his personality, and not just of his personality, but of his entire being. And now he's more connected to himself. And I think that in an arm wrestling match, this must allow more parts of his brain to be activated. I think that if you were to scan Devon's brain during a match, it would be much brighter than that of many of his opponents. And I think there is probably more adrenaline coursing through Devon. There's more of a lot of things going on in Devon than the average dude. If you were to test him, I get that feeling for sure. So yeah, I do think it works. I think what he's doing probably works competitively. And I think other arm wrestlers should take note of it. Yeah, I mean, before I watched this video, I was gonna say, you know, Devon, maybe being a warrior is about more than just tearing your opponent apart. Maybe there is also this element of showing mercy in battle, of encouraging your junior, inspiring him for the next fight. But it occurs to me now that all of that belongs in practice. That is what practice is for. And that is where Devon does all of that. And if you want that from Devon, you need to fight him in practice. You cannot have it in an East versus West match, unless he's feeling particularly generous, I imagine. It all makes sense to me. I had all these kind of arguments and ideas laid out, but Devon always manages to convince me that what he's doing makes sense. But I do wish that I had seen more, how to put it, affection from Devon toward Oleg, maybe after the match or at some other point in the East versus West, whatever number it was, promo material. Maybe there was a moment like that, and Devon sort of paid respects to the connection he had with Pushkar and all that sorts of nice stuff. Because, I mean, Oleg is a young sprout, and he does need that encouragement off of the table. So I hope Devon was able to give him that encouragement off of the table, and maybe do some aftercare if it was necessary. Because that did bother me a little bit. It did bother me that the mood of that match was turned so bitter by all of the things that happened, both on the table and with the Morozov stuff afterward. It just seemed like the whole moment with Andrei Pushkar's student was kind of buried and smothered and forgotten by all of this crap. So that would be my one complaint that remains, in spite of my sort of change of heart and my agreement with Devon's philosophy. Yeah.